Here we go.
It's me, Mario.
So, hello and welcome to this 20-star run of Forest Ruins Rebooted. Forest Ruins Rebooted is actually a complete remake of the original Luigi and the Forest Ruins made by Gail, and I just made the remake. So, if you haven't seen the original, then that's fine. Unless you've seen the remake, you should have an idea what it looks like. So yeah. So right out of that, so GmD is gonna start with course 2, Willy Castle, and doing some crazy tricks, right? Let's just see how it's done. One of the hardest stuff is this one with that tricky triple jump wall kick. I wasn't sure why I made that. I left some kind of shortcut, but it's cool. It's pretty cool. But at least it got it first try. And yes, and for most of the people who might asking why we're playing as Luigi and not Mario, because Luigi is pretty cool. It's like Luigi is #1. And why not just have some good time with Luigi? And yes, its model is pretty cool. So the next door is this weird place with it's like a dark room full of doors. I kind of regret from making it this one out, because you have no idea what you're supposed to go, like taking the right door. But the good thing, if you take the wrong door, it will take you outside the room, the illusion room. But next time when I update this game, I'll probably give some more hints. I try to improve a lot better for this one. The next door is typical swimming. That is cave over there. This stage is probably the hardest to take control, aside from course 5 and course 6, which we've never seen a lot for this category. This one right here is that what people have the most complaint. This one is called "The Sand is your friend." People have a hard time to see what to do. Is that the path has a different color than that you can see. Like the dark one is when you can't walk, and the real one is just totally quicksand, but you can actually see the path thanks to the trunks already, but you can really take your time. But you can also cheese it by using the wing cap, which you can't get only until you get to the second part of the game. other than that, this stage is pretty easy. I just need to be a lot more consistent. Yeah, most runners where I played this game really do hate this quicksand star. So this area was going to just a pit star using the twist, I guess. Yeah, you just get it. And yet there's another stuff that seems pretty obscure, but I think the aim for this one should be more obvious, but I kind of rushed with when I created this level, so it didn't make any sense. But in games, it had to be much more closer to where you're supposed to go. Alright, it got done with course 3. Now it's time for course 1, which is probably the most easy just for anyone to go through. So yeah, that's a crazy trick I never know about. Typical bone clip, just for this star. And you got it. Right, to those who were aware, like personally, I think course 1 is the most faithful to the original, even though it didn't look the same because I have to carefully had to replicate all the layout. Beyond it, I have my own perspective, so it could be look more cleaner. I guess this is a good state for anyone to know the whereabouts and get a good vision of all things. Alright, time for the big boss, Mr. Twomp. Yeah, actually, it's a womp, but it says it looks like a womp. I mean, it's a twomp, but I guess you could actually understand the puns behind this guy, because if you think about it, because twomp and womp sounds exactly the same, but they're actually the same species, so I guess like combining twomp and womp is just an obvious answer to this. And yes, this guy is pretty big. So you can actually if you try to glitch through his body and get a ground pound, it might happen because it's a lot bigger, so it makes it harder to get it attack. But if it attacks you, if it tries to squish you, you won't lose any health. So I don't know what happened when I tried to fix that, but I found it funny, so I leave it at that often. Anyway, there's the Koopa. Mr. Koopa. This is the same deal. I've kind of followed up in the same concept as in vanilla. The goal is just where you fought the boss right there, and the spawn respawn where the boss I died to. The next story was another one no one has ever figured out, but of course, if you think about it, it is this guy, the Howl. So it was the first time for me to use that one. I think Rainbow did use that guy and Star Wars as well in Course 3. All the thing gamers were using the typical vanilla mechanics. I think the original did that too. So Cindy used Cindy Howl again because the real star is not for the cliff, but he did use the guy just to get to the cliff a lot more faster by normal means. But this guy will take you over there to your huge pillar for this star over there. Anyway, course 1 is a pretty basic, pretty easy course to do, even in speedruns. I like it a lot personally. Okay, next level is course 4, Frostfire Caverns. Again, just a generic concept using fire and ice standards. I wasn't too sure in what kind of idea I've made up with this for remaking this level. And of course the stage is divided in 2 areas which look the same, all mirrors, like the polar opposite. But as you can see, all the paths for the ice side are completely frozen, as you can go slippery, while in the fire side, all the paths are melted and it had lava, so you can burn themselves. Except for this one for the shell, because it can burn you. And one of the stars are a lot more trickier and more confusing at first for going to the ravine, because it uses the concept with the switches, the red and blue switches. So it makes you force like going to explore the 2 areas of this level just to open the gate, which takes you the way to the ravine. I think GmD did that on his own, but I wasn't too sure. Anyway, there's a cool shortcut I didn't know about until someone showed me how to do it. So you can cheese the mellow cap plus pressing the switch on the water. You can actually frame walk on this thingy. I forgot to make it slippery, but I was kinda lazy for it. Yeah, pretty cool shortcut. That's sad. Mount Ballsy. This is my most favorite. Probably the most atmosphere I've ever done. The music is cool as well. And yes, as you may predict, this level has some inspiration from Star Revenge 4. No, not Star Revenge 4, Star Revenge 6, Money Mountain Karoks. That's because of the atmosphere of it. Oh nice, you get the Death Star glitch. I shot it at one time because it saves a lot of time rather than getting the star animation and getting respawning. And it saves a lot of time because the death barrier was so closer that you can actually trigger it. If you just do it right, just as soon the treasure soon fades in, and if you hit the star at the right time, at the rightest frame, you will hit it and you will like normally die just from falling. I guess that's a good solution for saving time in this category. You could do that for 40 stars as well. Yeah, all in all, this level is pretty cool. It has some tricky stuff to do. The one I just mentioned with the Death Star glitch is putting in the most trickiest. And not just that, the other one for the level 4. Oh nice, you get the 2 firsties. This one is pretty tricky. You need to get at least 1 firstie or 2 firsties to reach up to the star and save up for some level boost. But the intended way is that you have to climb onto the other side of the mountain and save it and just long jump over the lava fall. I guess that would make sense because I didn't have any idea to make up with and finding more particular climbing standards. Yeah, I really did took up some ideas on Turtle Mountain, but the Turtle Mountain is, yeah. Like fun times with the shell. That was the stuff we've seen from the beginning. There was a possible way to cheese without going to the shell and climbing all together. And I didn't know what I did, so I kind of fixed the shortcut. If I didn't fix the shortcut, you will save a lot of time for that one. Anyway, that was it. It got 20 stars. Time for the first boss. This game is pretty short, and this category is also pretty short. One thing I'm gonna establish is not entirely a boss stage. Well, you could say there's like a different standards for this game. And yeah, one annoying thing about this level is when you get to try to get across this pit with the spring, with the bouncing springs, there's a huge chance that you're gonna get hit by the Lucky 2, and the Lucky 2 will like push you down and kill you by freak accident. So you be hoping in vain to orbit that guy while you do it. But yeah, as promised, I did say I wanna update this game just to remove some of the issues. Hello, Kimba Bomb. He's pretty angry. He's slightly faster, but he's not as strong. Yeah, and if it grabs you, and he throws you into the lava, but you can save yourself. Even if you try yourself, even if you do that, it comes to you because it's slightly faster, and there's a chance it will grab you again. So this guy, you need to defeat him with at least 5 hits. And there you have it. So we're gonna go to the second part of the game, which is Fire Cavern, and this is where we're gonna fight the second boss of the game, which we're gonna meet for right now. Alright, and then the critical, I missed it. This is another shortcut I wasn't aware as well, until I think Drunk Crazy showed me that one. I wasn't aware, but of course I was using Tosella as part of the scenery. I didn't know that was possible. Of course, I didn't make any slippery conditions for those. So I wasn't sure anyone would ever figure out what to do in informal shortcuts. Yeah, this area kind of serves as a second overworld / boss stage, but nothing too apparent for any kind. And they did commit suicide rather than going back to the beginning, just like normal. Committing suicide is a lot faster. There's also a way where you can skip the cannon, but that requires thirsties, and it's completely impossible. Yeah, think of like BQP Red's Thirsty Hell. So this is the guy, Rigayente. Again, 3 hits, nothing too hard, just avoiding fire. I love those boss stages. I guess I really did my best to complete all those custom bosses. Oh, you found that skip? You did? Oh, never mind. So yeah, we're in the final boss. This stage is, once again, one idea I got lazy with that. It's just a medley of some areas from the previous levels, like patching into many parts. Like this one, the green part is from course 3 with the Quicksand stage. While in the other side is from course 4. The purple area is core 6. We that unfortunately we cannot get in for this category. If GmD did 40 star, we might have an idea what core 6 looks like. Particularly the longest and the coolest stage I ever made. So yeah, and in the clip it did use with the bully is kind of tricky because after that you don't want to die a lot anywhere in the stage. If you do, it makes you like restart all over again and do the bully clip. That's what the runner refers at a Keeper's clip. Then we go through from course 5. And then we are at course 1. Coaster E isn't seen in this stage because I have no idea what to include because Coaster was too big and I didn't have any space to add one more area. Alright, Butterfly. Don't choke the trolls. Hey, that's perfect! That's 2 hits in a row! If it gets it alright, that's perfect. Nice, he got it! That's a perfect throws! There's no death at all. I'm sure it had saved a lot of time, probably a gold. And yet the Grand walks you to this nice area of Peach's Castle, and we'll have our final star, which doesn't save the game at all. You only can save 39 instead of 40. And it's all done. That was Forest Ruins Rebooted. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks to GmD for showcasing his great skills and personally he did his best for finishing the run entirely in a good way.